Hello, hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Welcome to Stars with Stasi, where no matter who or what you are on this cosmic journey, you are welcome here. I'm Stasi, your trusted psychic, intuitive reader, and fellow Scorpio. Scorpio, today is October 22nd, 2025, and today starts the beginning of Scorpio season this year. So we are going to do our weekly reading, and this is for the week of October 26th through my solar return, November 1st. And, or whenever you come across this message, it's meant for you. But we did just have that new moon in Libra yesterday. So the scales are indeed being balanced, fairness, justice, things coming forward. And I feel like this is a year of adventure for Scorpio this year ahead. I feel like it's adventure and fun. I feel like it's going to be a lot more fun and freedom than 2025. So let's see what the cards have to say is going to kick off our year. And as you guys can see, I'm wearing my merch. Let me show you the shine brightly as the sun comes through. So if you would like to purchase your own, you can go to my YouTube shop. But I love this sweatshirt. And anyway, I digress. It's a good time for all. All right, this reads, I now go beyond other people's fears and limitations. It is my mind that creates my experiences. I am unlimited in my own ability to create the good in my life. And a card very similar to this came up last week, all about the mind is the creator and it's your mind. This reads beauty coming forward. And then we also have stop caring about what they think. This is your life to live. So this is really releasing other people's programming that we have somehow taken in. And it does happen, whether it's the societal programs, what comes across our feeds, the people in our lives, sometimes even our parents, our family. They carry their judgment and their beliefs into our realities. And when it starts, when it starts young or it happens consistently, it for sure can affect the way you see yourself. And I would say this as a reminder, Scorpio, other people's beliefs and your beliefs, the only thing that limits is the person who believes it. So when I'm, for example, met with a lot of judgment because I'm an occultist and I have people coming from all over with their own specific religious beliefs telling me how I should live my life, I am just grateful they have a belief system of their own, but their beliefs limit them and not me. It's not for me. Does that make sense? So the best thing I can say is if you can keep that perspective, it gives you a lot more freedom to follow your own path. So here we've got the King of Pentacles with the Two of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. So the King of Pentacles represents wealth and abundance and the power to create a financial business, a plan, or have success that sustains even generations. It is rooted in firmness. Like there's a surety here of, I'm following this path and it's going to benefit me. And that's what's important. Also, when you are seeing the full benefit of what you put into the universe, it will inspire and attract the right clients. It will inspire and attract the right situations, people, and financial abundance into your life. There is something here with this Two of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune where you're meant to do it now and you feel like it still requires some refinement. You're still in the planning phase of things. This comes through as for some of us, recently interviewed, getting a new position, wondering what that looks like. Perhaps you have to make changes in your schedule, find childcare, like that's coming through. You might even need to move. There are some people here that are also looking at starting their own business and leaning more into that. But there is a shift in the financial. And even if you're not employed because you're retired, there's still a shift here. You may be thinking about selling a property or downsizing. That's coming through very strongly. And pardon, I'm getting a lot of pings. And it also comes through that there is a bit of fear, like, how will this affect me? How will this affect those around me, my family? And the universe says, well, if you don't make a change, then everything stays the same, which isn't where you want to be. And so at this point, a new year, new you, right? That energy's coming forward. Interesting. I'll take them as they are. Okay. I've got the 2 of Cups with the Tower card and the 10 of Cups. So while I don't generally do love readings, I will say that this comes through as family, intimate relationships with the 2 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. I mean, that's pretty clear that this is about an intimate relationship. If you are in one, you may be reviewing what you're in and wondering if this is where you want to stay. You might be making changes on that front. But there is some sudden shift here. It doesn't necessarily need to be an ending, but it is a shift in the family structure. With the 2 of Cups and the 10 of Cups with the Tower, right? You see that right there. This is family, friends, close emotions. That's really what it comes through. The people in your intimate circle. It's either that there could be a huge announcement. Again, it's a general reading, so that's why I'm throwing out all the things that could be happening suddenly for Scorpios in this sector of life. If you're looking for something very specific to your needs, the links are below. Book a reading at starswithstasi.com and we can get into it for you. But again, with thousands of people, you have to understand that this could be an ending of a serious relationship or the evolution, right? You could be single and meeting someone out of nowhere and it becomes that person that you've been craving in your life. It could be that you are in a stagnant marriage or an engagement for the 5th year in a row, and this isn't what you want any longer. You're looking for movement. That's the best way to put it. There's movement here in the family and romance sector for Scorpio this week. Something comes forward. When we're looking at the Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter energy, expansive, and also the fates are stepping in. Things are happening as they should, meant for you to propel you in a place of abundance and also limitless possibility. There could be something in your life right now, Scorpio, that's blocking you from progressing in the path that you'd like. Based on some of these cards, it looks like a fear of what others might say or think, or breaking a pattern that you have held onto out of maybe a false belief. I'm seeing the Devil card in my mind, so let's see how this continues to progress. That Beauty card comes forward also, just saying, all parts of you, the universe is getting me here, that you've got to see the beauty in each part of your existence. And I'm actually seeing these 2 cards together. There's beauty in the turning of the wheel. Okay, even when that turning feels exhaustive, it continues to turn and then you feel refreshed and refueled. And the universe says that's part of this new chapter, right? You've been through it. You've made some changes, lots of changes, and now you're going into this year free. So let's comment that below. I am free. That is very important. Comment that, and that can get you entered into next week's mini read. As I say that, we have a new beginning in the material. So this is a new job, a new place to live, right? Newfound income where there has been restriction recently. So this feels like freedom in the material. Also, I am being told to, and I say this all the time, the universe is not on a budget. Ask for more, seek more. Stop putting value on things because of old programming. You're not greedy. You're not, what's it called? As long as you are grateful for what you have, knowing that you have put yourself in a position to be at ease for more, then you're doing it well. It's that when you're not grateful and you have like the energy of, I never get what I want. That kind of energy, that won't yield any positive results. But I feel like you already know that. So we're going to move past it. This is more about the taking that leap and that something new does come. So that's interesting because perhaps whatever changes are happening in the family and relationship sector of life give you that freedom, right? Remember, I am free. Give you that freedom to explore more with that Two of Wands. Okay, so there's a little bit of apprehension here with the Nine of Swords, a bit of anxiety coming through. And then we've got the Five of Swords. Fives are disruptive numbers, and swords are mental energy, communication. There could be some fear about how you're going to have a discussion with people that are close to you about making a change. Some people might be feeling left out or like, how could you do this to me? I'm not sure what's going on because that's what's coming through. But ultimately, Scorpio, you're making decisions, even in your business. You could be pivoting and people feel like you should have included them in discussion. I'm not sure. We've got the Six of Cups coming through, clarifying that King of Pentacles. A Ten of Swords, Eight of Wands. So Six of Cups can be a pattern repeating itself, but it can also be things coming full circle, like a cycle completing. And for some, it could be that you have a familiar face from the past come back. I will say this, for me personally, I have experienced this in my dreams, having dreams of people that I have for most certainly released in my life. And I've had to put thought into that. Like, I haven't thought of this person in years. Why are they entering my algorithm? So pay attention to all things, dreams, patterns, because it might be that the universe is trying to say, hey, this is an unresolved issue that plays in the back of your mind. And then here we have the ending of that karmic cycle coming through with that Two of Wands. As you are planning for the future, the universe wants you to clean up the mental mess. And I say that with confidence because here is that Wheel of Fortune with the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is a forward moving card. It's energy to progress in a different path, but now's the time to take action. Paired with the Wheel of Fortune, this is the best time for you to take the action. So whatever has been going on in the background of your mind or even in your immediate life here in the 3D, the universe says, pay attention, make sure you're not repeating patterns. You've got to break out of that cycle. That came through last week as well. So there's a pattern here of foreshadowing. And also I'm hearing that because of the holidays, depending on what you celebrate and where you live, because of your solar return, if you're getting pings for people that you haven't seen in years, they could be thinking of you because this is your time of year. It could be that your family is overly relying on you to do things, putting additional pressure on you. Little things like I'm seeing where maybe you've always hosted, they're saying this year don't do it, right? Like breaking patterns. That's the best thing I can say without getting so specific. But there's a lot here focused around giving yourself freedom. Remember, I am free. This is not a year to be bogged down because you believe you should, you need to. Look here. Wheel of Fortune again comes forward. And this one is clarifying the Two of Cups. So there is a fated event happening in the relationship sector of life. Again, you could be meeting someone that's super impactful in your world. or the energy is starting to bubble up for new. One moment. Yeah, I'm seeing that for a lot of people, it is romance. But then for those not looking for romance, it is about community and friendship. It is about just people, it's trust. Interesting. Give me a second. I'm just getting a lot of pings. They're saying this is a time where you're really going to see a different side of yourself because you're going to start to feel safe and comfortable. Friendships and love in the most unlikely of places. It's like you're entering an intersection of the divine matrix. Something's about to happen for you. And you're going to see it as well in your financials. You're going to need to make some choices. Again, some people might feel left behind, but you're taking a chance for your own well-being, your own freedom, and it pays off. The universe says it pays off because when you show that you are important and you value yourself, others see that as well, and it lays a foundation for how you're to be treated and what you expect. Okay. Remember, I am free. Comment that below and allow yourself to step into that energy. Something's happening here with our finances, moves, and relocations because I have another Ace of Pentacles coming through. So here we go. And I have an Ace of Cups, actually. With this Tower card, there initially is some thought, regret, right? But then the universe says whatever this sudden situation is that has to happen, is the catalyst to make room for this Ace of Cups. And then here with this 10 of Cups, we've got the Ace of Pentacles. So, again, this comes through like, I would say like 40% to 60% of Scorpios are considering moving, are considering a new job, or, changing something that affects others around you. And the universe says you're going to quickly see who is actually supportive of you versus the people who are just benefiting from you. Eeh. All right, let me keep going. But this is really good though, because change is coming here with this Ace of Pentacles twice, and that Four of Cups is really always an Ace of Cups. I've got the Eight of Pentacles. So this is when you put your energy into something, you're micro focusing. You could be going back to school. I feel like people are going to be taking classes for certifications, right? Or you could be really studying how to market your business. You could be taking a real estate exam. You could be doing something where you're learning different AI modes. There's something here like security, but there is a lot of focus being made on your pentacles, on your well-being, on your material success, really focusing on manifestations. I also have to say that a lot of people are going to be very focused on their spiritual well-being. That is so important, Scorpio. I can't say it enough, especially for us, our eighth house, humans. Focus on your spirituality, focus on your faith. It will redefine the way you see the world. And it's so beautiful when you spend time getting to know yourself. So you are the most interesting person. Trust me. You just have to see yourself that way. Oh, okay. Hold on. I have the Nine of Wands with the Nine of Swords. So nines are a number of, and it's an initiatory experience, the nine, but it's also the culmination of something coming to the end point. It's also a few things happening here. There is something that you've been reminiscing about in the recent past. You have felt wounded and just in review and maybe even slightly exhausted from having to keep fighting. This feels like an internal battle with that Nine of Swords. This person, the swords are hung up. The fight is internal. And this has become exhaustive for you. And so as a result, the Empress card comes through. The Empress holds the embodiment of all four queens. This is amongst the strongest of the feminine energy in the deck. A nurturer, a lover, that who makes her place peaceful and comfortable, but it's also receptive. Feminine energy is receptive energy. And this Five of Swords is also about competition and strategy and putting yourself in the winning position without overdoing it. And I'm going to show you, because you see this Nine of Wands is exhausted, but they're also, you can't take them down. This person, this is, in my mind, I know it's not a Scorpio card, but to me, this is like the embodiment of Scorpio energy. We fight the fight, and you can't take us down. We will have, we'll be on one leg and we will still come out on top. We've been through it all. You can't take us down. We are the ones that burn it down and then rebuild it. With that Five of Swords and that Empress card, the Empress is also birthing new energy into the world. In many decks, she is seen as pregnant with potential, pregnant with freedom. I am free. This strategy of putting themselves first without overburdening, right? They didn't decide to take all 5 swords. They took 3 because they can still win with 3 and they can carry 3. 5s would leave them stagnant. 3, they're winning, right? You see how the strategy plays in here. Also, 3 swords here, and the Empress being number 3 reduces to 6, which is a number of harmonious union, balance. And we did just have that new moon in Libra. So with the new moon energy on the heels of this week, beginning our Scorpio season, it looks to me that there are a lot of patterns that you've been working on breaking, changing cycles. We've got definitely things happening in our emotional side, in our relationships, our intuitive mind, following your instincts, taking opportunity as it presents itself, regardless of how other people may see you in that transition. This year is bringing us a lot of adventure, a lot of twists and turns. But more than anything, Scorpio, this year is bringing us freedom and opportunity so that we can live on our highest and best timeline. That for sure, I feel. My guides have been showing me over and over again the Wheel of Fortune, how Jupiter energy, because right now it's exalted in Cancer, how Jupiter is working for us. Now, there is something here about tempering, right? Working with a balance of the expansion, because you don't want your pendulum to swing so far either way, because it does have to balance itself out. Try to take it as it comes and try to enjoy the ride. That 9 of Swords with the 9 of Wands says you've been stressed, you've been beat up, but what we have for you is the Empress, Ace of Pentacles twice, and the Wheel of Fortune. That right there has plenty to say about the expansive energy in our finances, in our well-being, in our health. This is good vibes. All right, Scorpio, remember, comment, I am free. Let's look at the shadow work for this week as we move forward. And stay tuned and hit that notification bell. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. I plan to do some special things for Scorpio this season, right? So just stay tuned. More to come from Stars with Stasi. Oh, that was a lot. The one that flipped up. Give me 1 second. Action versus reaction. Okay, interestingly enough, this is number 33. 33 reduces to 6. You guys could be seeing repetitive 6s, 666 in your world, which is not what a lot of people think it is. That is a number of, it's actually, it's so many things. But again, a number of balance and harmonious union, things coming together for you. So action versus reaction. I feel like for the first time in a long time is how I'm hearing it. You're taking advantage of the power that you have. It's like Scorpio's making huge power plays that change the trajectory of your life. You're no longer reacting. You are not doing knee-jerk reactions. That's the thing. You have taken in the culmination of the last year from your last solar return, and now you're saying, you know what? I'm going to hang up these swords. I'm going to get out of my head. I'm going to take advantage of this freedom I'm creating for myself. I'm going to be thoughtful, and the word is, that's what I'm seeing, intentional, thoughtful and intentional. And as a result, the opportunities are showing, I'm taking it. That's how it comes through. You're taking action and you're coming from a place of power. It's really just power versus fear. Power versus fear is what's happening this week. And then we're also going to I want to look at one of these empath cards because I feel a bit of recent emotional overwhelm. So where is that coming from? I'm I'm actually seeing in my mind's eye, like, why is this? I'm seeing that movie Twilight about the vampires. So that's them showing me like emotional. Oh, geez. Hold on, guys. I spilled something, which is interesting. Because I was just about to say, I'm sorry, excuse me. Because I was just about to say, you know, energy, like an energy vampire. People just leeching onto you. So if that's you, just or if you've seen the movie recently, which makes sense because it's spooky season. But if you've seen that movie recently, it might be an indicator that you have some emotional people draining you. I say that, and here comes identify your emotional triggers on the heels of action versus reaction. We absorb the emotions of others that remain unhealed in ourselves. That's an emotional vampire. Notice your triggers, such as anger and fear, and gently begin to heal them. And I feel like, Scorpio, that we have done the work of identification, but now it's taking action on what you've seen has been draining you, depressing you, making you feel, some sort of way. The universe is saying that identification gives you the power back. It gives you your freedom back because now you know exactly what's triggering you and you can move through it. I've recently had that myself. I have felt triggered in situations and really had to sit with myself and say, okay, I can't control what that other person is doing, saying, or how they're behaving, but I can figure out why it's bothering me so much so that I can stay in my power, right? I don't want to act out of character. So think about how that shows up for you. I will be doing the winner of last week's free mini reading next, and I would love if you would stay and just see what that's all about. Also, guys, I do have an exciting interview being released. I'm either going to release on Halloween or the day before, and it is with Emery's Abner, and he wrote a Solomonic Pentacles book, which, is it's really cool. We're going to learn a lot about King Solomon. Before we get there, we're going to be talking about Ouija and the origins of it. And did you know it started out as a dating game? So much to learn. And I think that you're really going to enjoy this. So keep a lookout for that. Like I said, I'll be doing a couple of trailers for it between now and then. But it's really a fun interview. One of the ones that I think is the most entertaining that I've done so far. All right, so remember that we are all stars from the sky with feet on the ground, and we're doing the best we can with the information that we have. So be kind to yourselves and each other. The winner of last week's mini reading is at Tracy S376, also born on November 1st. She is my birthday twin. All right, at Tracy, TRACYS as in Sam, 376. Thank you, Tracy, for entering the contest. This will be your free mini read. And for everyone who is choosing to part ways with us at this point, may the magic that we weave and the words that we speak bring healing to all those who seek it. Have a great day ahead. Tracy and anyone who'd like to say, let's get into it. All right, Tracy. Let's see. Okay. Hold on. A lot of things came forward, and that was too many cards, but immediately I have the Two of Pentacles. So you could be in a situation where you're torn between two things that it is that you desire. We've got the Nine of Wands, a card of exhaustion again, a card of feeling like overwhelmed. Things are coming through too much and very guarded. I feel like you might have recently had to stand up for yourself a lot against others. And, I'm even seeing like, and again, I'm going to just say what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like somebody who's very like potentially politically driven or having to stand up for their truth in an environment that is a lot different than you, perhaps. So and if it's not political and it's not something like that, it could just be, where you are speaking your truth in a place that others feel differently than you. Yeah, there's something here because the Three of Swords, that's a card of really feeling like hurt, right? Because this doesn't come through as like a emotional relationship, but we'll know in a minute if it is. This is more or less feeling hurt, like somebody saying to you, well, I disagree with you, and it's something that impacts you, and it's hurtful because it's a non-negotiable. For me, a non-negotiable would be if somebody's racist or homophobic. I take that very personally as a minority woman, right? I take that very personally. And so those things are non-negotiable for me. And I feel like something like that has entered your world. And you're like, this is not going to work out. It's a lot of standing up for your beliefs. I also have this feeling of like, interesting. So we've got this, I'm onto something, because then we've got the Hierophant coming through, or the High Priest, number 5, but this is a card of tradition. Also can be a very political card, a card of traditional structures in the universe. Taurus energy, things that have been fixed. We've got karma coming through with the Four of Pentacles, feeling really guarded, feeling financially strained potentially, or and I know even for people who are living comfortably in this time, they're more intentional with their resources, because depending on where you live, but for the most part, from what I can tell all over the globe, there's this feeling of what's going to happen next, let me hold on to my resources differently. There's also this thing here, feeling emotionally guarded. With this karma card, I feel like, let me clarify a bit. But it does feel like you're like, okay, they're going to get theirs. Yeah, 4 of Cups. That flew out. The 4 of Cups, you see that right there? We've got 3 cups where this person's like really in their head, wondering like emotionally, what is this about? And then this person's sitting there in solidarity with you, but they're also saying, look, I know it sucks, but there's a whole cup here that is filled, that is ready. Your people are here. You're healing from this. Karma is a huge factor right now in rebalancing the scales. It's that time of year as well. Keep going, please, for Tracy. The High Priestess comes through, right? The High Priestess comes through. Listen, we're birthday twins, so this could very much be that you are an occultist or someone who is very much in your faith. I would just say this to you. There's no need to magic someone else's karma. But if you do so with the knowing that you're handing it over, not trying to control it. That's the best thing I can say, because you can't hide from the universe. And when there's an internal anger or injustice, the universe already knows because your frequency omits it. But you can correct the vibe of it all by just letting the universe know, I trust you to handle this injustice. And there's something there. Follow your gut as well. Anything else? Nine of Swords, concern, starting over, the Fool card, Seven of Pentacles, and last but not least, the 10 of Cups. So the Nine of Swords is a lot of mental stress, is a lot of anxiety, but the universe says, listen, a new beginning's upon you. And so, yeah, it's a little bit scary, but that's why things are changing and ending. The Seven of Pentacles is that card of, when am I going to get my rewards for all the work that I've done, for all the love that I've put out? When are these investments going to grow? When are things going to change? But it does happen with this 10 of Cups. There is a lot here for you, but in this card, these people are choosing to see the 10 cups they already have filled in the sky. They're choosing to look up, and they're choosing to put these swords down and spend their time looking at the rainbow of filled cups. Change is indeed happening. Karma is taking control of the things that have been burdening you. The scales are rebalancing for sure. Lean into your faith, lean into learning more about yourself and what makes you feel good and what works for you. When the high priestess shows up, she's very much into know thyself and understand the rhythm and the beauty of the universe. It will change your life. Tracy, I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, I am free, and let the universe know that you have the time, the compassion, and the effort there, the strength there to build that new life for yourself. Have a great week ahead and shine brightly.